Hello, my name is Diana Alper and I am an RN with Crossover Health. Today we'll talk about how to keep our communities safe. We'll learn what the sharp hazardous waste is and how to properly dispose of it. Using a sharps container. Used sharps are hazardous waste. When not discarded properly, they can cut and infect others. Protect our community by always discarding used sharps in a sharps disposal container. Free sharps containers may be available through your doctor's office, at a hospital, health insurance, or medication supplier. You can also buy one from the pharmacist or online. Never throw those sharps in the trash. They can definitely poke through the plastic bag. Use sharps container for these sharps: syringes, needle, lancets, any sort of needles, auto injectors. How to avoid injury. Do not force sharps into the container. Do not put fingers inside the container. Do not remove needles just with your bare hands. Do not bend or break needles. And do not recap needles. We recommend you actually carry a portable sharps disposal container for travel. However, when you travel, note that some bathrooms may have already pre installed sharps containers, like at the airports. Needle clipping and storage devices. There are wonderful devices available nowadays. This device is called needle clipping and storage device. It can be used with 28 gauge to 32 gauge needle, or 4 millimeter through 12.7 millimeter in length. It can store up to 1,500 needles. It removes needle, syringe, and pen needles. No prescription needed. You can buy it over the counter. It minimizes sharps content because only the needles go inside, and you can toss the syringe in the garbage can. Do not clip the needle that has been used by another person, and needles should be clipped all the way to the hub before discarding. Make sure to always comply with local regulations. Some states require a sharps container for the entire syringe, and you wouldn't be able to clip the needles. How do I use a sharps container? Just make sure that you don't overfill it. Note that there is the full line with the word full. Check that the container is large enough to fit your sharps, because not all the containers are different size. Make sure that the sharps container is not damaged in any way. Put the sharps into the container immediately after use. Do not leave it laying around, and keep your hand behind the sharps tip. How do I discard of a sharps container? So stop using the sharps container when it's 2/3 full or filled to the full line. You can shake it around, but you have to completely lock the top. Then you can take it to the whole container, to a sharps disposal program. There are many different ones. There are actually mail bag programs, special waste pickup services, syringe exchange programs, Dropbox, or supervised collection sites. There are actually drop boxes in front of some hospitals and medical office buildings. At home needle distribution programs and hazardous waste collection sites. So you can learn about those if you just go online and figure out what's available for you or in your area. What to do if you don't have a sharps container, the manufactured one? You can make your own, believe it or not, but you have to follow the following guidelines. It has to be able to stand upright, it has to be made of the heavy duty plastic, and it has to have the tight fitting lid that cannot be punctured, and it shouldn't be leaking. None of the other plastic or glass or aluminum containers work. The best container is from washing detergent. So no milk container because it's too soft. The same with the water bottles. No glass containers because they can break. And no soda cans because those do not tightly close. If you are using your own makeshift sharps container, write with a Sharpie on it or post a big sign on it that it's sharps, and when you're completely done with it, tightly close it with tape. And make sure to keep it away from children, and make sure that no one decides to use it for as a washing detergent. How do you discard a homemade sharps container? So to dispose of the household sharps container when it's also only 2/3 full, close the lid, tape it shut, label the container, and you can take it to the same programs that you can dispose the regular manufactured sharps containers to. Um, at some uh, states and only some counties, it is allowed to put the biohazard container, sharps container, in the middle of your garbage can. Never put it into the recycling bin, no matter where. But before you get rid of it, you do have to check which state, which county allows for that disposal. Only because even within the same state, some counties may not allow it. It's better and safer to dispose of it in a way that different programs allow. If you have any questions, always ask your healthcare provider. There are many resources available for you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.